And right now let's finish in the front. So I want move cursor here, so let's select this edge, Shift S, cursor selected. And if I look from the front, I want to move it on the Z-axis as well. So let's open the panel on the right with N, and let's select the view. And here under 3D cursor, you can move it a little bit. So let's put in something like 0.75 or 0.7. That's almost in the middle. I'm okay with that. And there are multiple ways how to finish here, but one of them is just to create some edge again and connect the space in between. And we can do that here by adding the circle. So let's press Shift A, click circle. Now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. So let's put in 8. Now rotate this on the X 90 degrees and scale it down. But as you can see, it was too large, so it caught up in the clipping. So cancel that, disable clipping for a while, scale it down, and you can enable clipping again. And now you can just rotate this, but be careful. If you would use snapping with control, there is a face snap active and it would snap it all the way back to the back of the car. So let's switch this to increment. Now we'll just rotate this, hold control and shift to have a better precision, and rotate this a little bit. Okay, something like this. Doesn't have to be completely perfect. And let's select the edges, this one and this one, and fill with F. And right now you can select this one and press F multiple times to fill this. Now I want to go one step back and actually fill this with the triangle again. And you will see why, because I want to extrude this on X. Fill this one here. Now we can move this and finish. So E, then X, and extrude to middle. Now we can connect these. So this way you can easily create any shape you want, where you basically just define your edge and find your way how to connect. So we can now select this one, go to the side view and extrude like this. And make the last connection. Now here you can just cover this with an N-gon and extrude to the front, inset, extrude inside, make one more inset and move to the front to create lights. And there you go. So this is your car bodywork. And one more thing, we can close this up from the bottom. And again, there's a very easy way to do that. You can just start with an edge here, and by holding Control you can add to the selection and just leave the last one here open, and here press E and extrude on the X. And right now you can just make a loop cut here in the middle and basically go and delete these faces here and this one here, and you can close it with N-gons. So here, select this edge and close here. Right now there are just some adjustments to make, so let's maybe extrude this vertex here and make a face there. And here we can make an n-gon, doesn't really matter that much. And we can do the same thing here. So let's press E, extrude on the X. First fill this one. And right now we can select this loop and fill it. So that's your car. And sorry if this was a little bit too fast again. It would take forever to really go through every little possible detail and to talk about every single keystroke and stuff. So I hope you will be able to follow this. We'll now just add some details, and again we can use existing geometry to do that. So if I want to add, for example, some door handles, I can just select this edge here, shift duplicate, P to separate, select this edge slide and add a skin modifier, of course. Select all and Control A. There's your door handle, really quick and easy. And I will do the same thing with the bumpers. So let me just select this and this, or rather I want the bumper to be lower, I think. Yeah, it's all the way down here. So maybe we can use a new loop cut for this purpose. So make a loop cut, select it all the way up until here, duplicate, separate, and now you can select that new cut again, press X and select dissolve edges, and it'll remove the new cut on the car, but you will have the new geometry perfectly in place that you want it. And you can modify this. And maybe we don't need to use the skin modifier, we can just extrude this up, select all, press E and extrude. And extrude along the normals. And you can use the S for the even thickness, but I think I like this kind of shape in this particular case. And we can move these two vertices, so click them, G and X, and move them here, and these two as well. Okay, so that's a quick front bumper, and we can do the same in the back. So let's make a new cut here. Let's check the placement. I think here it'll be okay. And right now just select the loop you want, duplicate, separate, and again we can press X and dissolve edges. This is very useful where you have excess geometry you don't need. There's always an option to dissolve vertices and edges and clean up the geometry. And right now we can just select this, slide it here, extrude this up, select all, Alt E and extrude along normals. And there's your bumper. Maybe adjust this as well a little bit. And the car is almost ready. And of course we would need to do the wheels, but in this case this will be a flying car, so no wheels, and we'll need something like an anti-gravity engines or something like that here. So let's just add a new object while we are out of the edit mode, and let's select cylinder. I want this to be 12 sides. Let's go into the edit mode, scale it down, go from the side and press G to move it here, rotate on the y-axis, so R and Y, 90 degrees. Let's look from the front, press 1, and yeah, let's scale this and move it on the X. And this is basically how you would create wheels. Here, let's press G. Okay. But we will modify this to create the engines. But first of all, I want to add a mirror modifier there. So let's add mirror, so it's on the other side, but you can activate the Y-axis as well. But now we just need to adjust the distance from the center. So let's press G, Y, move it closer together, then tab out of the edit mode and move it like this. So it may take a little bit or a little while to match perfectly, but basically you can now create 4 objects at once, which is very useful. Now, if you would create wheels, you could of course can go something like this, and you would have nice wheels. But right now I want to create something more engaging, so let's do the inset right here. Now scale it a little bit, and let's extrude it inside. Again, let's scale and extrude it out. Scale again. Let's grab it on the X. So you have a shape like this. Now we can inset this once more and extrude it inside to create an engine opening. And of course we can add some details there. So we can do a cut here, bevel that, only one segment, and maybe extrude inside along normals to create some nice technical detail. And I really want to make bevel here. That'll look nicely. And right now, if we go to the local view, we can do some adjustments on the other side. And let's go to the face select, inset a little bit, extrude, scale up, extrude, and scale really down. So you get something like this. Maybe not so much here. And right now we just want to add some technical details, so maybe select this face in the front, extrude it down. This one you want to inset and extrude out. Maybe you can do some loop here, so let's do another inset. And this is just like we did on the tanks and on the kitbash objects when we did the objects under the platform. So this is very similar. Just go around the objects and look for some interesting ideas where you can do some insets and extrusions and some nice technical details. And I think this will be okay. And right now you can just select all, go to the front view and rotate this 45 degrees and maybe do some little better placement there, something like this. And you can scale it up, of course, if you want. Yeah, but basically this is your flying car right now. And right now let's just do some cleanup. So let's name this car. Let's name these engines. Door handle, bumper and bumper. We can now select all, shift select the car, Ctrl P to parent this. And of course you can activate the reference, select it here and delete. We don't need that anymore. And let's enable the main collection. Right now you can just scale the car and place it in the scene. So let's look from the top. And there's already a reference there. So let's just press R, 90 to rotate, move it here and scale it down. and if you look from the side, basically you want to have it on the level of your construction here, or maybe a little bit higher, something like this. Okay, so that was the car. I hope you could catch it all, and that's a completely new technique you just learned, and it's called edge modeling, and it's used for modeling the vehicles and the more complex stuff, where you basically create the whole topology on the fly from nothing. Of course, you're trying to maintain the quads wherever you can. So yeah, that's about that. And let's move on to the next part, which is basically just adding some cables and finishing details, and then it's about materials and rendering. So yeah, good job.